Yo guys, welcome back to The Contentment. This is a place where we pull together ideas from the world's creatives to help level up our mind, body, and our spirit. Today, we're touching on the spiritual aspect of the three pillars. Tapping into our physical health and really looking after our body opens up the space to then dive into mental health and looking after our mind, which then allows that deep connection with God, with Jah, with the universe, with Source, with Allah, whichever way that you want to put it. It allows you to settle into some sense of faith in what is and just the unfolding of your life. And one of the more influential characters on my life, Alan Watts, something he said was, to have faith is like when you trust yourself to the water. You don't grab hold of the water when you swim, because if you do, you will become stiff and tight in the water and sink. You have to relax, and the attitude of faith is the very opposite of clinging and holding on. Faith, in my eyes, is stepping away from the need to know, stepping away from the need to control all outcomes, and just surrendering to life as it is, with no need to change, modulate, or fixate. It's just stepping into the belief that everything is going to be okay, and that rather than wishing life was a certain way, you accept and surrender to the way that it is. And only from that place, I believe, can I transform, and can we do different things with our actions and actually take the necessary steps. Because if we're acting from a place of scarcity or a place of fear, then we can't truly step forward into the abundance and the growth mindsets and all of that sort of stuff. So faith, when faith is cultivated, when faith is actioned and strengthened, is something that we can rest into during times of uncertainty. When things are really difficult, at least there is always faith to sit back into. And again, whether you have extreme religious beliefs, you have spiritual beliefs, or you don't even have any beliefs whatsoever, you can still use faith as a tool to help you move through your life. You can almost take it to a stoic level where faith gives you the ability to control what you can control and surrender and accept what you can't. And, again, whether you have any specific religious or spiritual beliefs is besides the point. Having faith to then control what you can and accept and surrender to what you can't, I believe, is one of the most empowering mindsets to have. So I don't know, I just find faith beautiful, and there's so many incredible people that talk about it, like Jordan Peterson. I went to a seminar recently in Auckland, and he just mentioned how faith is arguably one of the most important things to establish in your life. Faith in whatever you personally believe or whatever you want to believe. And also, from my experience, faith becomes a lot easier when practiced. You don't just suddenly wake up feeling connected to everything and like you believe that everything's going to be okay and that you surrender to the flow and abundance of life. That doesn't just happen. That is, much like confidence and all of these other skills, it is a skill that you practice and build up over time. And I truly can say this from a place of truth in my experience. The more that I commit to showing up to my daily actions about what I believe, not just what I think, I back it up with action, then for some reason or another, I'm able to have more faith, and in the harder times, sit back a little bit, and even though it's shit, still just have this undertone of trust. It's really hard to describe if you haven't felt that yourself, but for me, just knowing that's out there really helps me get through all of the shit that I deal with and I've had to deal with. So it's pretty empowering. When it comes to faith and what we believe, you're either just mentally masturbating and pretending and thinking that you believe something with just thoughts, or you're backing it up with action and proving to yourself, giving your subconscious real world evidence that it's actually what you believe. It's far beyond just what you say. You are having faith because you show up every day in a way that installs faith in your subconscious. It's not just you wish you had faith or you do have faith, I swear I do. It's genuinely showing up every day and proving that you do have faith. Showing up every day on the good days gives me the ability to then be able to show up and have faith on the bad days. And I'm sure many of you guys have seen, sometimes my breath work and my faith or my practices, some days it's the most energizing thing and I feel so incredible from it, and it makes me feel so alive, energized, inspired, motivated, and just so grateful to be alive. And other days it is the facilitator of processing emotion. It brings up my emotions to the surface and helps me deal with the things that I'm facing and gives me the ability to use the cathartic cry to help myself get over certain things, and it really just helps me manage my issues. And faith, again, just showing up every day and giving myself that space. I never know what's going to come up, and I think that's why for me it's been so important, because some days I didn't even realize that I'm holding on to such a deep limiting belief or something. Like, you know, for example, today I just had a moment where realizing I am free to choose what I want to do with my life and put energy into the things that are going to help bring what I want into the world, and not just be acting from this place of fear, like uncertainty, and not doing what I dream of doing right in this current moment, and realizing that it takes daily actions to get there. And I hope I can soundbite this 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the track and give myself a pat on the back for being consistent, having faith, and showing up every day. So, note to self, if you do end up watching this, thank you. And I fucking knew it. So to really emphasize this point of faith and the combination of your beliefs and thoughts and then what you actually do via your actions, marry those two. If we can marry those two in the middle, match up our daily actions with what we deeply truly believe, or at least what we want to believe, then we are being that person. We are truly being that person. It's not just words. You're not just saying that you believe. You're not just saying that you have faith. You're not just saying that you wish you were eating well and or whatever the things are. You are showing up and doing it via your daily actions, further installing confidence and faith into your subconscious so that you can bring the life of your dreams into reality, into the world. Thoughts backed by actions are reality. Thoughts as just thoughts are delusions and not true. So how do we strengthen our faith? And I believe that is showing up every day, training faith like you would a muscle in the gym, and showing up every single day and improving on the skill. Now, there's so many different ways that we can practice this, and I know of so many different religions and ways of life and different ways that they practice, but I don't want to speak on that because I don't know. All I can do is speak on my experience and what I've done and what I do. So take this with a grain of salt. This is just my personal opinion and what I do. Every day I do 3 rounds of breath work and really try to incorporate the idea of surrendering into that breath work. Then I do a 10-minute meditation, and again, I feel like that's got a lot to do with surrendering into the now, into the moment, and giving myself space to be. And then I also pull reminder cards, tarot cards, or oracle cards, whatever you want to call them. That's one I pulled today back there. Again, I don't believe that these are like guides telling me what to do when I pull a card. It's simply a reminder. And I believe a reminder is powerful enough to install a bit of faith. If you just pull a little card and it has like a positive message or a message that you may have forgotten on the day, like a magnet for miracles is a heart full of gratitude. Shout out to Russ, that's some Russ lyrics right there, but a magnet for miracles is a heart full of gratitude. If you pull a card like that or have a reminder like that, then for me it helps me slip into like, oh yeah, maybe I should be a little bit more grateful. And then before I know it, I'm riding this train of gratitude that really, really just improves my quality of life. So I believe there's so much value in it. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, you're pulling a tarot card, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, whatever. But the reason that I do it is because it's a reminder of, in my opinion, the truth. And just a reminder to step back and relax and have faith. Now, some days my practices are so energizing and so incredible and feel just amazing. And other days, it's the last thing I want to do. But showing up each and every day, even on the days where you can't be fucked, again, you're strengthening the faith muscle so that you are gaining access to more days of feeling alive, stoked, abundant, however you want to put it. Again, this is my belief. And I say this from a place of, in my like really shit times, normally I'm just letting in the desires of shitty food and not practicing, and I can't be bothered doing this, so I don't do it, and just really riding the train of impulse and not actually taking actionable steps to anything. That's where, for me, it's just a really shit time. So I only share this from a place of things that genuinely help me. And again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just out here sharing what I'm learning so that I hope that I teach myself how to live a more fulfilling life. And if me sharing this helps one other person, then fuck, that's awesome. So again, if you're like, oh, fucking Hunter trying to tell me what to do, I'm just sharing my story, and I hope that you can see that, and you can do whatever you want. To summarize all of this, if we don't have evidence to back up thoughts and beliefs, then it's really hard to be truly convicted of it. But if you show up every day to back up your thoughts and to back up your beliefs, then you move into a space of faith and surrendering, and the world opens up in a way that you couldn't imagine, because you're stepping into who you actually wish that you were. And that's a beautiful, beautiful feeling, and it's something that we all have access to, but it takes a big, big effort and amount of work, even just to show up every day for a simple 15-minute practice. It takes me so much effort to be consistent with that, and maybe one day it won't, but for now that's just the truth. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you got any value from this, I would really appreciate it if you can share it, like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. But yeah, if you think someone would value this, then feel free to send it to them. I really appreciate you checking in. And with that being said, guys, what do you actually believe? Marry your thoughts and your actions, and the truth to that question will present itself. Much love, guys. Peace. Let's get every last drop from life.